Alright, hello. I'm deciding to see how much profit per hour Abyssal demons are. Now to get here, these are in Slayer Tower. You're going to need 85 Slayer, that's a requirement. You're going to go all the way upstairs, and you're going to need a full Slayer helmet and or nose peg to be safe from the aberrant specters. Now I'm going to be using my Vampirism aura, just because that helps me out. To see the time, I don't need the healing to have soul split. I'm going to be turmoiling this whole task and have extremes and a pack yet. Now, so prices are going to vary. You can use a tortoise or something like that. This is what I'm going to do, and I will see you in between or at the end of the hour mark. Now, another thing I decided to do, I guess I'll pick up charms, even though I'm just going to drop them at the end and let you see how many per hour this generally is. I'll also see how much it cost me to do a whole entire trip. Now you gotta remember that picking up charms does make it slightly less profit, because you have to take the time to pick up the charms as well, and it might not seem like it does much, but in reality it really does. I'll see the next time I tune in. Also, something I would strongly recommend while doing this is to wear a Ring of Wealth anytime you're trying to make money. A Ring of Wealth is an amazing thing to bring, but generally even if you're doing a Slayer task, if you're doing a Slayer task of about 200, you generally get like 2 to 3 rare drops from a Ring of Wealth drop, and those can really pay off. So keep that in mind, and anytime you're trying to make money, always bring a Ring of Wealth. You could get more kills with a Berserker Ring or Warrior Ring, yes, but you're not going to make as much money, because the Ring of Wealth really increases the chances of getting a drop here. So keep that in mind. Something I figured I should have done, instead of bringing a Varrock teleport, I should have brought my Tokol Zo. That way, because with the Ring of Slaying, you can teleport basically right in front of the tower, which gives you quick access, and the Tokol Zo gives you bank access just like that. So I could have done that, because I think I may have to bank. As you can see, 46 minutes left, and I already have a bunch of stuff in my pack yak, because any secondary drops I get up in my pack yak after I use my scrolls. Also, I'm not picking up gold charms or green charms, just because no one's really interested in those, and gold charms are really only useful if you're like 50, 60 summoning, and even then that's stretching it. So that's also one thing. And also, if you're going to use anything other than a pack yak, because if you do have to bank, I'd recommend always making sure to keep your nose peg and or Slayer helmet on you at all times, just because then you don't have to worry about the aberrant specters and getting there and noticing, oh crap, I can't. Now what aberrant specters will do if you're not wearing the nose plug is they'll hit you for very high damage, and they'll also lower your stats, so then you'll have to go bank and then restore, or have to go die, and it'll just take a lot of time away from you. Now another thing that I am going to be doing though is seeing through the kills per hour how many hours it would technically take, because I believe the drop rate for Abyssal Whip, as confirmed at RuneFest, is 512, and out of those 512 you should at least get one whip. Now that's what they say, but I really don't believe that. I'm pretty sure it's more than that, because I've killed plenty amount of Abyssal demons. So I'll get back to you when either at the bank get something good or remember to tell you something. Oh hey, you see that? A whip. Talk about luck, right? There wasn't even much kills in. So I just upped the price. But don't worry, I'm gonna include that in the price check at the end, but I'm not gonna really count it for profit per hour, because a whip isn't gonna be that common. If only it really was. And I think before I start recording the last bit of it all, I'm going to show you my experience on the high scores, because I just barely logged on, and tell you the EXP per hour here too. It is pretty good. These things have a very high life points compared for their level, and their only max that they can even do that would hurt you much is an 80. So you're relatively safe here, and I'm not going to add that 3k in there. It's just a drop on the side. I think that's from Ring of Wealth. Also, another item that you might want to consider taking that could help you out is a gem bag, because one of my main issues here is I'm getting a lot of gems that I'm thinking may be worth more than the infernal ashes, so I'm picking those up. So, considering it all, I think I'd better drop that sapphire. So, there's a good little drop, and I will continue on from later. Now, I did have to bank, and I had to grab summoning potions because there's a couple of outtakes before this, because I had to check Fraps and Hypercam's recordings and see which would be better to use. And I chose Hypercam just because I know it better, and for some odd reason they're not recording sound unless I put in Windows Movie Maker. And I know I can pause for Hypercam. I just barely started using Fraps, so my videos might jump to that. But I had to bank to grab a summoning potion so I could up my summoning and grab an extra pack egg pouch. For a second I was scared I didn't grab one. But yeah, I didn't bank the whip or anything. I kept my same inventory, technically, except for my summoning potion, which sort of helps me out, but sort of doesn't, because I emptied my yak at the bank, so it really wouldn't increase that many drops. If anything, it's going to make me lose a little bit more money, because it's going to let me use more winter storage scrolls. I'm going to make sure to down the prices of how many winter storage scrolls I had too, so don't worry about that one. And I will get back to you guys soon, because my trip is up in, we'll be that one, more time remaining, 8 minutes, so I'll most likely actually see you at the bank unless something splendid happens. So 1 minute left on my aura, almost done. So, in a little bit I'm going to teleport, and I'm already going to presume that I'll probably maybe get 2 kills in before the minute's up. Another helpful hint, because someone logged in earlier, but then they thankfully logged out. You really want to do this on an empty world, because as you can tell on the map, the spawns are really spread out. So you would not want to do this with 2 more people. Even one's pushing it. There's just not money as could be. It'd probably be a better thing to do when at Kuradal's dungeon. That can generally do 3 people at max. So keep that in mind. Alright, so I used 130 of these. This is the end result of everything. So I gotta take 53k out, not much at all. I got 49 crimsons. Now I'm pretty sure you're wondering what all this is. It takes at least 3 hours to get 1 whip by the 1 every 512. So that means you get, technically, if you didn't include the whip, this whip, you had an extra 158k on it. And that should be your loot. Yeah, not the best. But then again, it could be a lot worse. It's about 500k, so it's about 660k an hour. And that's excluding other drops you get. I mean, you get a lot of pure essence, and like I said, you get a lot of rare drops. I didn't pick up a lot of things that I could have, and I only got 1. I think a room bar is now maybe noted, but I only got 1 that whole time. So that is how much money you make per hour at Abyssal Demons. So 660k per hour. More if you're lucky and get more whips.